You feel disconnected from your partner. You've said you're not happy. You've explained that something's missing. And they say to you that they love you, right? And you can tell they mean it. Heck, you can even feel that they mean it on some level, right? Because they do. They do actually love you. So why does it still feel off then, right? I'll tell you. Because even though they may love you, it doesn't mean they're right for you. So let's talk about the four signs that lets you know just that they indeed do love you. There's no question there, but they're just not the right person for you. And the reason I'm doing this for you is because oftentimes we can get into that internal debate or conflict, right? Because you're questioning if it makes sense to still be in this relationship or should you still be here and all that stuff. Because you're questioning whether your partner loves you or not, because you're not feeling the love, even though it seems like they do on the surface. And you start questioning, is it real? Or, are they just bamboozling me? Or they pulling over my eyes? Or am I crazy? Am I asking for too much or something? Am I being unreasonable? And you start going to this, contemplation because you're not sure if it's you or if it's them or if it's a little bit of both or what have you. So the first sign that it's real for them, but not right for you, is when they love you, but they don't know how to show it. Where, yeah, they care deeply, right? But their love never translates into your love language, right? Where they do things for you, but never the things that make you feel loved. It's like there's always still something left to be desired or pined for. And yes, you communicated what you need, right? But nothing really changes. It just doesn't get to that space you need it to. And again, the issue is not them not loving you. It's just that they love you in a way that still leaves you empty. And that's one of the worst spaces to be in when we know it's not the easiest to find partners out here that are going to genuinely try to love you in the first place. And then when you do, then you feel like you're asking for too much or you're being too much or, it's something wrong with you when you can tell they do love you, but it's just not translating for you. Second sign, they're not willing to grow with you. They're fine with the way things are. They're good with that forever, but you're not, right? See, someone can actually love you the way you need to be loved. They can, fill your glass up in those areas, but still not be right for you because although they love you to pieces in a way that makes you feel amazing, at the same time, you're not getting fed the inspiration and feel like you have a partner going along with you on the ride towards evolving as a person, because one of your core human needs is growth. We don't get around that, right? You're either growing or you're dying. There's no stagnation in the middle. And so you have a partner that loves you to pieces and you feel amazing, like you feel like the only person in the world when they're around. But if you also feel like your growth is stifled and they're not trying to evolve with you, then you'll slowly start to resent them anyways because they're not right for you, because they're not someone that's trying to evolve in life like we all should be trying to. You want emotional maturity, a deeper connection, a shared vision for the future. And they keep calling you too much or saying you're overwhelming them, putting a lot on them, instead of trying to rise to that standard with you, right? They're repelling against it because they're in this season of their life, they're stuck in a place of stagnation, right? They've stunted their growth for whatever reason. They're not ready for that next step yet, right? Now, let's be fair here. It's not something you just bail on your partner with the moment you recognize this was happening. You try to work with them, but if they continue to push against it or their actions show they're not trying to go there with you after a reasonable amount of time, then yeah, you're starting to realize they might not be the best fit for you long term, even though they feel great now in the short term. At the end of the day, love that won't evolve eventually expires. You have to keep cultivating love, and growth is a huge piece of that cultivation. And this is one of those great moments where it's applicable to say, this is why love alone will not sustain a relationship, right? There's many other factors and elements, right? You can love someone to pieces, but it's not enough to keep them there if they don't feel like they're evolving as a person with you. Third, they show up for you, but not the relationship. Follow me here. They show up for you in some ways, right? They'll do things for you. They try to show up and be in your corner in different ways, but they don't show up for the bond that you guys have. Meaning they're not the one to initiate repair when you guys have a conflict situation or an argument or butting heads or there's something that needs to be worked through. They sit back on their heels. They don't fight for better communication. They leave it as is, or they just keep operating in toxicity, and they won't put the hard labored work in for the foundation of the relationship to be stronger so you guys' bond can be stronger. But they will show up and do all the lovey-dovey things for you, right? They'll do the things that feels good to do. And I don't want to call these things easy, but the things that are less emotionally triggering to do, that requires less emotional awareness, intelligence, and maturity to navigate through. Things that just requires effort. See, this is why effort alone is not enough, right? Effort has to be consistent, but it also has to be effort in the right areas. And if they're not willing to do that and be that for you for the relationship, yeah, they love you to pieces and they'll show up and do anything for you in the general sense. But when it comes to the hard stuff they have to do to go internally to check their ego, work and, dim the pride a little bit and have to be understanding and work through hearing you say you don't like something that they do or whatever the case is, if they falter there and they always fall apart, then they're not going to be right for you in the long term. They love you, but they won't do what it takes to protect the us in the relationship dynamic. And fourth, you still feel alone in the relationship. I know this one hurts, right? This is a hard one because your partner, they're right there in front of you. They're there physically. Could be standing right next to you, but they might as well be on a whole nother planet, light years away, because they're emotionally unavailable. It's one of the, worst feelings to experience because when you crave connection as a human being and as a person, you have feelings and emotions. You want to bond to someone. You want to feel like you're not doing this life thing by yourself because it's difficult to do life, right? It's not the easiest thing oftentimes. And to feel like the person you lay next to every night is not there with you and you're actually by yourself still with someone next to you, man, it's a really confusing, conflicting, and emotionally defeating thing, right? It can drain you, it can make you feel a sense of resentment, it can do a lot of things, and it's hard, especially when that person is right there and it's almost like that fruit that is in front of your face or that bucket of water and you're like been in the desert for days and you're starving and you're super dehydrated and you're extremely thirsty and it's right there in front of you. It's in a glass casing. You can't touch it, but it's right there, right? It can almost feel like torture in some ways. They don't see you, hear you, or make you feel important. So you wind up crying alone, you think alone, and you process alone. And see, this is exactly why no matter how much your partner can love you, if they have a lot of deep wounds and issues they haven't worked through in their past or traumas or whatever that causes them to be emotionally guarded or unavailable or shut off, they will never be able to truly be there for you the way you need. They feel like you're understood and you're connected and you're locked in because they're not locked in with themselves. Someone cannot offer you what they don't offer themselves when it comes to an emotional level and all those different things, because they haven't discovered how to do it within self, so they can't project it outside of self to you to benefit from. And then the worst part, every time you bring it up, they act like it's not a big deal, right? Because on one part, they're not emotionally available enough to recognize that it is a big deal. And on the other half, their subconscious is really using this as a way to suppress them facing wounds they're not prepared to face yet on a conscious level. So to them on the surface, it feels like this is not that big of a deal, even though it really is, right? And that's not a partnership. That's coexistence. So yes, they love you, but that doesn't mean they're right for you. See, love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice. It's a language. It's a commitment to nurture the bond you guys are building together. And if you've clearly expressed your pains, your needs, your truth, right? And nothing changes over a period of time, then it's okay to walk away from a love that doesn't nourish you, right? That's not you being ungrateful. No, that's you finally recognizing what you deserve. And if you deserve something different, then by default, so do they. It'll serve you both every single time. So if you need help getting clarity in your relationship and the decision you need to make to understand that even though your partner loves you, are they actually still right for you or not, then email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work only if you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, or the time, space, or maybe even the resources, then at least email or DM me the word transformation, and I'll send the link to my relationship renewal course to where it teaches you what the right relationship looks like and how that operates in practice, so you can identify where and if that's what you have, and if your partner is right for you, even though they love you or not. But either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.